I joke that half of our job is marriage counseling. Even when people are on the same page, they're not necessarily going to be on the same page with every single decision.
Hi, I'm Julie, and we're here at Trail Appliances Cloverdale, and this is Designer Diaries.
I think that we do things differently from a lot of other design firms. I think the way we approach it, we're very, very laid back, and we really listen to our clients. I mean, I love what I do, and I love working with our clients and having that input and collaborate with them. We're quite strong on the architectural side as well, so the integration with the spaces as well as the elements within the spaces. So we don't have a specific aesthetic. Like, we do really modern, really heritage, and everything in between.
When you're meeting with new clients, what's the first thing that you want them to know about SGDI?
I always want people to know that our goal with our projects is a couple things. So it's something that stands the test of time. We want something that's not going to date itself. We want things that are pretty timeless, no matter what the style might be. So we've got like curve on here, which ties into, I mean, even just like the curve on this, right? Like, these are not square edged cabinet pulls. These are rounded. They've got this little detail. This curve ties in with the curve of our profile on our doors, as well as like the soft curve here, right? Good design is function first. Because if a piece is beautiful but doesn't work, you failed. We're always looking at how people are going to use their spaces and really get to know them and how their family dynamic works and everything else to make sure that the solutions that we're offering are good for them and are going to make sense.
Tell me a little bit about what it's been like to work with Trail Appliances.
I mean, we've worked with Trail for a long time, and it's great. You guys are pretty open to listening, which is really nice. There's so much opportunity to do different things in a showroom that, again, sometimes you want to show people like, well, look, this could be done. The amount of people that have come into this showroom, clients of ours, and like, oh yeah, we saw this and this and this. I'm like, I know exactly what that is. We can certainly look at things like that. Whereas when they haven't seen it, it's harder for them to kind of grasp the concept.
When you think back to designing this kitchen, what was the spark or vision that kicked it off?
Well, the Wolf Sub-Zero space specifically, like, it's a very classic brand. And so we wanted to give it a space that showcased that in that context, but we didn't want a boring space. It does still feel pretty good now. The palette still makes sense, and I think that the appliances still look great in it, and it has held up.
When you're starting a new project, what's the very first conversation that you have with clients?
It's just a conversation. I mean, we just have a conversation just like this, where we're just chatting. And, I've had clients who they've had architectural plans done by somebody else, and we're looking at doing the interior. And the first question out of their mouth is, oh, well, what do you think of our plans? And I'm like, I can't answer that yet. I need to know way more about you and the people using the spaces before I can even comment on whether this solution is the right solution for you. So tell me about your family. Tell me about how you guys use the space. Do you do this? Do you do this? And there's a lot of questions that we ask.
There's so many decisions when building a new home or renovating. How do you help them make the right choice?
We can help them make the right choices by informing them and really educating them on options. When we present different materials to them, for example, it's like, I even did it this morning. It's like, we're talking about natural stone versus porcelain versus quartz versus natural stone on countertops. How do you use your space? You love the visual of this, but are you prepared to, have it sealed? And are you prepared to be careful about all these different things, right? So I think when we talk through the practicality of the space and the materials, it's a lot easier for them to like, oh yeah, no, I don't want to do that. I should go with this. And then it's easier for them to make those decisions. 3CM, I think, would have felt a little too chunky. Like, this is a bit finer and softer, which typically you'd see this in something more contemporary where you want that like super clean, but it's like, here it made sense.
Have you ever had an appliance change the design direction?
We always encourage people to pick their appliances at the very beginning before we even do architectural design. And so I'm not sure that I've ever had it change the direction, because we know what those things will be really from the beginning. Appliances are never an afterthought for us. So we always know ahead of time what we're dealing with to work around to make sure it makes sense.
When designing a kitchen, do you like appliances that stand out or blend in?
I think it can be both. I think that depending on the overall aesthetic or goals for the space, yeah, sometimes you do want the appliances to be front and center, and it might be not all of them, but it might be a certain piece or two or something like that where you're really going to highlight those. And then there's other times where, again, depending on the style, you might want to have some quieter pieces. I also sometimes feel that the fridges can be really bossy when they get really big.
I'm sure homeowners come to you with a particular style in mind. How do you you bring that vision to life?
Pictures. We go through so many images at the beginning of a project because words mean different things to different people. We usually do a kickoff meeting with them and we'll go through their idea books or pictures or Pinterest boards, whatever it might be, their collection of photos. We will pick apart every single aspect about those pictures. It's like, oh, were you looking at this or was it this? Did you notice this? Are you thinking about this? Because that allows us to form a picture in our heads. Best part of my job is seeing everything finished and seeing happy clients at the end. Like the hugs that we get when photo shoots are happening and they're so excited, like that's the best. And then sometimes they're like, you were right about this. And I'm like, good. Glad. I love looking back at some of our projects that we've done even 10, 15 years ago. And sometimes people will still have those pictures in their idea books. Like, oh, I love this. I'm like, fabulous. That is like still looking good. You'd still put that in today. And we did it 15 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So like, that's nice. My clients would probably describe me as a marginally crazy person.
No.